Hey, before we start, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell. Don't miss a thing. If you love creepy deaths and wild twists, you're in the right place. Today's case sounds simple. An old couple found dead at home. But wait, it's Gene Hackman, the star from The French Connection, and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. When the FBI got involved, they uncovered something so bizarre, it'll blow your mind. What really killed Gene? Stick around. This one's a shocker. Let's go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, February 26, 2025. It's a quiet town. Big skies, lonely roads, houses far apart. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa live in one of those houses, a private spot they picked to hide from the world. Gene's 95 now, a legend who quit Hollywood years ago. Unforgiven Superman. He's the guy who owned the screen. Betsy's 65, a piano player who loved her music more than the spotlight. They've been a team since the 80s, married since 91, 40 years of sticking together. 3 dogs, a big house, no fuss. That day, a maintenance guy rolls up for a routine check. Maybe the heater's acting up. He gets to the door, and it's wide open. Wind's blowing through. He yells, "Hey, anyone there?" No answer. His stomach drops. He steps in, and there's Gene, dead on the foyer floor, stiff and cold. He keeps moving, heart pounding, and then he sees Betsy, dead in the bathroom, pills all around her on the tile. Both of them look rough, like they've been gone for days. And it's not just them. One of their dogs is dead too, curled up in a closet near Betsy. The other 2 dogs are alive, staggering around, thirsty and weak. The guy runs out, calls 911, and the cops show up fast. No break-in, no theft, no blood, just 2 bodies and a messed up scene. But this isn't some small-town case. Gene Hackman's a name, a big one, and when word gets out, the FBI steps in. They're not buying the old couple died quietly story. Something's off, and they're here to figure it out. What they find changes everything. The local police start with the basics. No forced entry, doors and windows are fine, nothing's missing, TVs, Betsy's jewelry, all there. They check for gas leaks, like carbon monoxide. Zip, house is clean. Then the FBI rolls in with their suits and their gadgets. They pull Gene's pacemaker data, that little box in his chest that tracks his heart. It says his ticker stopped on February 17th, 9 days before anyone found them. 9 days of nobody noticing. Betsy's death? They can't pin it down yet. Her body's not as far gone as Gene's. The pills by her are for blood pressure, thyroid stuff. Hers, not his. Did she spill them in a panic? The FBI's asking bigger questions. Why the gap? What kept her going after Gene? And that dead dog? What's its deal? They're digging, and they're not stopping. Here's where it gets wild. The FBI brings in their experts, doctors, tech guys, the works. They go over Gene's pacemaker again, and they find something nobody saw coming. It wasn't just a heart attack. The data shows weird spikes, tiny electrical jolts in his system, like something messed with his pacemaker before it shut off. They test the house again, not for gas, but for electromagnetic interference, stuff that could fry a device like that. And they hit gold, traces of a low-level signal, something you wouldn't catch without fancy gear. It's not natural, not lightning, not a power surge. It's like someone, or something, sent a pulse through that house on February 17th. Gene's heart stops. Boom, right there in the foyer. The FBI's thinking, was this an accident? Or did somebody know how to hit him where it hurt? That's the shocker. What killed Gene Hackman might not have been his age. It might have been a signal nobody saw coming. So Gene's down. But what about Betsy? The FBI's got theories. If that signal hit on the 17th, maybe she wasn't in the same room. Maybe it didn't get her right away. She hears Gene fall, runs to him, finds him gone. She's freaking out, grabs her pills, not his, hers, trying to calm down, keep it together. But her body's not as bad as his. She didn't die that day. The FBI figures she lasted longer, days maybe. Her autopsy says heart trouble, sure, but also signs she fell. Maybe banged her head. Did she trip rushing around? Or was she dazed from whatever hit Gene? Those pills on the floor, they're scattered like she dropped them mid-chaos. The FBI's asking, did that signal mess with her too, just slower? Or did she break down trying to save him? Then there's those dogs. One's dead in the closet. Thirst, the vet says, trapped for days. The other two survived, barely, roaming the house. The FBI's wondering, did that signal hit the dog too? It's a stretch, no pacemaker in a pup. But maybe it got sick, hid, got stuck. Betsy might have shut it in by accident, too busy with Gene to notice. The other dogs wandered free, scraping by. And that 911 call? The maintenance guy says one dead, then, no, two. The FBI listens to the tape. He's rattled, sure, but they're not convinced it's just shock. They grill him, clean record, no lies. But they're watching. Did he see something he's not saying? Did he trip over that open door for a reason? It's a loose end they can't tie up. Let's step back. Gene Hackman was a fighter. Born 1930, tough kid, Marines vet, then Hollywood Gold. The French Connection, Oscar. Unforgiven, another. He quit in 2004, moved to Santa Fe with Betsy. She was softer, Hawaiian roots, piano hands. Met Gene at a gym in the 80s. She was 30 years younger, but they clicked. Married 1991. No kids, just dogs and peace. Friends say they were tight, happy out there. But that privacy, it left them alone. Neighbors hadn't seen them for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of silence. Normal for them, kinda, but not that long. The FBI's thinking, if something weird hit that house, nobody'd know. No one checked. That signal? It could have sat there, quiet, deadly, and no one saw. So, what's the FBI saying? Gene's death. Cardiac arrest? Yeah, but triggered by this freaky signal. Not a heart attack from old age. Something messed with his pacemaker. Betsy's. Undetermined. Maybe stress. Maybe that signal's leftovers. They're testing. Could it be a glitchy appliance? A power line gone rogue? Or, here's the chill, someone with a device, aiming it at their house. No proof of that? No enemies popping up. But the FBI's not ruling it out. Hackman's a name, big enough for a target. The open door, the 9-day gap, the dogs. It's too strange for just a fluke. They're calling it a potential external interference event. Fancy words for something weird killed Gene, and Betsy paid the price. But here's where it twists. If it was a signal, where'd it come from? The FBI's got no smoking gun, no gadget in the bushes, no tire tracks. Santa Fe's quiet. Nearest neighbor's a hike away. Could it be a test gone wrong? Some tech experiment nobody copped to? Or a hit? Clean? No mess? No trace? Gene and Betsy didn't flash their lives. No scandals, no fights. Why them? And why no call for help? Phones worked. Landline, cells, all charged. Did Betsy not know what hit them? Was she too lost after Gene went down? The FBI is still digging. Air samples, signal logs. But it's a ghost chase so far. What they found is shocking. Gene's death wasn't natural, not fully. Something reached into that house and stopped him cold. Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa. 40 years together, gone in a way nobody saw coming. The FBI's got their piece. A signal, a jolt, a death that's not just age. But the full story, it's slipping through their fingers. That open door, those pills, the dead dog, the 9 days. It's a mess of clues screaming for answers. Was it a freak accident? A hidden hand? We might never know. What do you think? Hit the comments. Tell me what the FBI missed. Share this with someone who loves a head-scratcher. Subscribe. Ring that bell. We're back soon with more. Stay curious. Truth's weirder than you think.